Hello awesome viewers of Nerdy Show, and welcome back to Westeros. Buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the epic drama that is House of the Dragon. This prequel to Game of Thrones takes us 200 years back, to a time when the Targaryen dynasty ruled with an iron fist, well, an iron claw holding a fiery sword. But beneath the surface, a simmering feud threatens to erupt into a full-blown civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons. Let's dissect Season 1 and see how this legendary conflict ignited.
King of the Andals, and the Rhaenyra, and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
The Heirs of the Dragon. Our story begins with a kingly dilemma. King Jaehaerys, old and without sons left, calls a big meeting of all the important Westerosi dudes to pick his heir. They choose his grandson Viserys over his granddaughter Rhaenys, which wasn't exactly fair. Fast forward a few years. Viserys is king, really hoping his wife has a baby boy this time. He throws a huge party to celebrate, maybe a bit too soon, and ignores warnings about pirates messing with Westerosi ships. Meanwhile, his brother Daemon, who's kind of a jerk, gets in trouble for being too rough on the city guards. At the party, a new knight named Criston Cole shows up and steals the show, even beating Daemon in a fight. Things get worse for Viserys when his wife dies, having a baby boy who also dies right away. Everyone tells Viserys to pick a new heir, but he's stubborn. Finally, he finds out his brother Daemon is making fun of the dead baby, gets furious, and kicks Daemon out of town. With no other options, Viserys picks his daughter Rhaenyra to be the next ruler and tells her a cool secret about a dream that helped his ancestor conquer Westeros. The Rogue Prince. 6 months later, things get messy. Viserys' jerk brother Daemon takes over a cool castle called Dragonstone, and pirates are causing trouble in an island chain thanks to some shady dudes in Essos. Rhaenyra, the king's daughter and supposed heir, wants to fight back, but the council shuts her down. Instead, they let her pick a new bodyguard knight. She goes with the war hero Criston Cole, ignoring everyone else's suggestions. Meanwhile, a teenager named Alicent starts comforting the sad king. She thinks he should get married again, which doesn't exactly thrill Rhaenyra. Then, another powerful family offers their young daughter, Lena, as a wife for the king. It's all about making alliances through marriage. Things get even crazier when Daemon steals a dragon egg, think special dinosaur egg, and declares himself the real heir. He also wants to marry his girlfriend, even though he already has a wife. The king's advisors try to get the egg back, but Rhaenyra swoops in on her dragon and makes Daemon behave. Finally, the king decides to marry Alicent, which ticks off the family who offered their younger daughter. Looks like there's gonna be some trouble brewing. Second of his name. 3 years fly by. Daemon and Corlys are still fighting those pesky pirates, all alone. Back in King's Landing, there's a huge celebration for the king's son, Aegon. Rhaenyra isn't a big fan of all this attention her little brother is getting. The king also wants Rhaenyra to get married for some alliances and family stuff. They consider a bunch of suitors, even a toddler, weird, right? In the end, they pick Rhaenyra Velaryon as a possible match. The king assures Rhaenyra she's still heir and can choose her husband. Meanwhile, some advisors are secretly planning to make Aegon king instead. Finally, the king sends help to fight the pirates, but Daemon gets impatient and wins the battle himself before the royal forces even show up. King of the Narrow Sea. Rhaenyra goes on a long trip to find a husband, but it's a no-go. Meanwhile, Daemon cleans up most of the pirate mess and comes back a hero, even calling himself King of the Narrow Sea for a bit. The brothers patch things up and there's a happy family vibe for a while. Then things get crazy. Rhaenyra and Daemon sneak out for a night on the town, which includes a brothel. Daemon tries to get romantic with Rhaenyra, but it doesn't work out. Feeling rejected, she hooks up with her bodyguard, Criston, instead. A big scandal erupts when someone snitches on them. Alicent confronts Rhaenyra, who insists she's innocent. The king is furious with Daemon and kicks him out of town again. To avoid more drama, the king forces Rhaenyra to marry Rhaenyra Velaryon and fires his advisor who started the whole mess. Rhaenyra is also forced to drink a just-in-case tea to get rid of any unwanted surprises. Yikes! We light the way. Drama keeps following Rhaenyra. Back home, Daemon kills his wife. Meanwhile, the king's advisor warns Alicent that Rhaenyra becoming queen would threaten her own sons. To keep everyone happy, Rhaenyra agrees to marry Rhaenyra, even though they both know he likes guys. They come up with a plan to have kids for duty, then see other people on the side. Alicent gets suspicious and questions Rhaenyra's bodyguard about their relationship, but there's a misunderstanding and he confesses to being her lover. Yikes. At the wedding party, things go from bad to worse. Alicent makes a dramatic entrance in green, which is a signal for her family to take action. Daemon shows up too, causing more trouble. A fight breaks out and Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra get married in secret, just as the king keels over. Alicent saves her bodyguard from doing something stupid, but the whole thing is a mess. The Princess and the Queen. A decade flies by. Rhaenyra has 3 sons, but they don't have the Targaryen blonde hair, which makes some people whisper. The king shuts down those rumors, but Alicent is planting seeds of doubt in her son Aegon's head, saying he might need to fight Rhaenyra to be king someday. Meanwhile, Daemon's wife dies tragically, and Criston, now on Alicent's team, stirs up more trouble. He gets into a fight with the father of Rhaenyra's kids, hinting the real father might be someone else. Things get so tense that Rhaenyra suggests marrying her son to Alicent's daughter, but Alicent isn't buying it because of the whole secret dad thing. The drama escalates when someone burns down the house of Rhaenyra's son's possible real father, killing him and his dad. Rhaenyra, suspecting foul play, leaves King's Landing with her sons and Rhaenyra's boyfriend, which raises even more eyebrows. Driftmark. Big family reunion turns super awkward. King Viserys goes to a funeral and Rhaenyra hooks up with her uncle Daemon again. A fight breaks out over a dragon and someone loses an eye. Things get so heated that the queen tries to stab a kid, but Rhaenyra gets hurt instead. The king says anyone who questions his grandkid's dad is wrong, but everyone knows there's drama there. Meanwhile, Alicent isn't giving up and her dad assures her they'll win. To keep the bloodline pure, Rhaenyra's sons might marry their cousins. Rhaenyra gets killed under mysterious circumstances, and guess what? Rhaenyra and Daemon secretly get married, keeping the Targaryen bloodline going strong. But wait, there's more. Rhaenyra isn't actually dead. He just faked his own demise and skipped town with his boyfriend. Things are about to get explosive.
It was only a compliment. Do you not think yourself strong?
The Lord of the Tides. Big trouble brewing again. Lord Corlys gets hurt fighting pirates, and his brother tries to steal his inheritance by saying Rhaenyra's son isn't really hers. Rhaenyra and Daemon rush back to King's Landing to defend the kid. The king is super sick and confused now, with the queen and her dad calling the shots. Alicent is hiding the fact that her son, Aegon, attacked a servant girl. To gain support, Rhaenyra proposes marrying her kids off to the other powerful family. She also tries to remind the king that she's supposed to be the next ruler, using that whole prophecy thing again. In court, there's a huge fight and Daemon loses his cool, beheading someone who insults Rhaenyra and her kids. Things seem calm for a minute, but then Alicent's son starts trouble again, hinting that Rhaenyra's kids aren't legitimate. Meanwhile, someone is leaking secrets to Daemon's old girlfriend, and the king is getting closer and closer to kicking the bucket. Alicent misinterprets the king's ramblings, thinking they point to her son as the next ruler. Looks like war is coming. The Green Council. The king dies and all heck breaks loose. The queen's advisor, Otto, pulls a fast one and tries to crown her son, Aegon, king instead of Rhaenyra. Anyone who objects gets killed or locked up. Otto sends some knights to find Aegon, but another group shows up first. There's a struggle and Aegon gets kidnapped by the second group. Meanwhile, the queen's lady-in-waiting has been a secret spy, feeding information. The queen finds out and gets rid of her. She also convinces her scared son to become king, even though he doesn't really want to. To show everyone who's boss, they crown Aegon in a big ceremony. But wait, a powerful lady crashes the party on her dragon, causing chaos and escaping. Looks like there's going to be a fight for the throne.
Or I will take it, boss! Not in my hall!
The Black Queen. The news of the king's death reaches Rhaenyra on Dragonstone, delivered by a very surprised Princess Rhaenys. It's a double blow. Not only is the king dead, but her son Aegon has been crowned instead of her. This stress causes Rhaenyra to lose her baby early. Fueled by grief and anger, Daemon pushes Rhaenyra to fight for her rightful place on the throne. With the crown of her dead father placed on her head, she's officially declared queen. Meanwhile, on the other side of the war, the king's advisor offers Rhaenyra a deal. She can keep her fancy title, her island home, and even her son's inheritance, but she has to give up the throne. Daemon is furious. He thinks fighting for the whole kingdom is better than some peace treaty, especially considering the danger from the north that some prophecy mentioned. Rhaenyra gets some support from a powerful family, but her sons have a tough time convincing other lords to join their team. Things take a tragic turn when one of Rhaenyra's sons is chased and killed by Prince Aemond riding a massive dragon Vhagar. This loss plunges Rhaenyra into a rage, setting the stage for a brutal war for the Iron Throne. Now Season 2 is ready with war coming. Let's see how it goes on. If you liked our content, please support us and comment with your suggestions. We'll bring some new content for you. Till then, bye and take care.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.